All right. We're going to talk about the order of operations. This is the first algebra video. How exciting is that? All right. So online, you may see sometimes math problems floating around. One time, this math problem was floating around. 6 divided by 2 times the quantity 1 plus 2. And if you see those viral math problems, you'll see that people's responses, they have a million different responses for the answers. And they all argue about who's right and who's wrong and how would you know, and they all fight. But really, that is why there is the order of operations that we use. So the actual correct way to do this problem would be to add this 1 and 2 first, which is 3. And then fill in the rest of the problem around it. The real next thing you would need to do is divide 6 divided by 2. Most people want to multiply 2 times 3, but you need to divide 6 by 2 because in the order of operations, that goes left to right. And then multiply. So the correct answer to this viral math problem is 9. If you have never seen before, hopefully you have, there is the order of operations. And so we're going to talk about that and how to use it. Okay. So if you're in my class, you would have this little diagram here to use. I can't find the controls for this. Okay, that's fine. Oh, there they are. So you can see. All right, so the order of operations goes like this. P, although some people use a G now, E, M, and D, A, and S. So people will say PEMDAS, the order of operations. And here's what it all stands for. So the P stands for parentheses, which is like that, parentheses, or you could use brackets, any grouping symbol, absolute value bars, brackets like this, anything that groups something would go in parentheses. E is exponent. I'm going to put a 2 here, but it could be any exponent. M is multiplication. So sometimes you'll see an X, but not often. You'll see a little dot or something like this with multiplying. And D stands for division. So you'll see a dividing thing, you'll see a slash, and sometimes a fraction for division. And then addition and subtraction. When you do the order of operations, multiplication and division, you do whichever comes first, left to right. So if division comes first, like it did in the viral problem, you'll do that first. If multiplication comes first, you do that first. And addition and subtraction is the same. You do it from left to right. So I'll go through one example here and we'll try to make it a little clearer on the next page. All right, so here's a problem we'll go through. 17 minus 5 squared divided by 2 plus 3. All right, so going through the order of operations. First, we're going to look and say, do we have anything in parentheses? Well, yeah. Right here, we have a set of parentheses. So the first thing we need to do is what's inside those parentheses. So 2 plus 3 is 5. That's the only thing that changed. Then we're going to rewrite the problem around it. All right, so 2 plus 3 became 5. Now, are there any more parentheses? No. So you're going to look through the problem and see, do we have any exponents? Well, there's one right here. So we need to do that next. The exponent goes to what's right next to it. So 5 squared is 25. And then we're going to write everything around it. Now, multiplication to division, going from left to right. We actually don't have multiplication, just division. So we're going to divide as our next step. 25 divided by 5. 25 divided by 5 is 5. I'm writing it way down here so you can see it lined up with the step. And then 17 minus 5. Now we have addition and subtraction, left to right. 17 minus 5 is 12. And that is the answer. And it's the only correct answer. All right. Let's make this a little bit more formal. Before we talk about it really formally, we need to define a word. So we're going to do another vocabulary word. Absolute value. Absolute value is actually just the distance from 0. So if you look at a number line, here's 0. Absolute value tells how far from 0 a number is. So if we're talking about the number 3, the absolute value of 3, we use bars like this, the absolute value of 3, it's 1, 2, 3 spaces from 0. The absolute value of -3, well, let's see how far that is from 0. 1, 2, 3. So let's look at another number. The absolute value of -4. Let me erase. Is 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces from 0. And the absolute value of +2 is 1, 2 spaces from 0. You can see that even if the number inside is negative, the distance is positive. So the absolute value bars, they look like this. They turn the inside number positive. That's their job. All right. So without looking at the number line, we'll do a few examples. The absolute value of 2, like we said, is 2. The absolute value of -8 is +8. That's 8 spaces from 0. The absolute value of 2 times -5. First, you need to do the order of operations because this isn't just a number, it's an actual expression. Order of operations says multiply, so this is going to be the absolute value of -10. And since the absolute value bars turn the inside positive, the answer is 10, positive. All right. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense as far as absolute value goes. I'm just cutting up my little foldy thing. I'm actually going to stop this video here and start with this foldy thing on the next page or the next video.